How are you doing? And you're welcome to Live Lessons Oladapo, and it's me, Oladapo, speaking with you. First of all, I would love to say I'm very excited because the time we've all waited for is right before us. And first, I'll be introducing myself. So once again, I'm mentioning my name. My name is Oladapo Salvador, and I'm a student of Human Nutrition and Dietetics at the University of Ibadan. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about live lessons with Oladapo. What is this podcast about? What is it going to be based on? What are the topics we'll be discussing, etc.? So first of all, this podcast will be a weekly podcast. That means an episode will be released weekly every week, and then twice a month we'll have interviews with people, discuss topics, relevant topics, important topics for our growth and personal development. And then, just as I said, we're going to have one episode per week, and these episodes are going to be based on book reviews. And then there's going to be a community. Not really there's going to be, because there is already a community and a blog which will act as an accompaniment to the podcast. Now we'll be going straight to the book review. I'll be introducing the book which we'll be talking about or talking on for the next few months, probably more like a series. The book is The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. Once again, The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. Now, this book has sold more than 6 million copies. It's a very impactful book, I will say. More than 6 million readers around the world have improved their lives by reading The Magic of Thinking Big. And just running through the content of the book, I'm going to read it out from here. The first one: believe you can succeed and you will. So we're talking about this. These are the chapters of the book. Cure yourself of excusitis, the failure disease. Build confidence and destroy fear. How to think big. How to think and dream creatively. You're what you think you are. Manage your environment. Go first class. Make your attitudes your allies. Think right towards people. Get the action habits. How to turn defeat into victory. Use goals to help you grow. How to think like a leader. Awesome, right? So through this review, we'll examine a step-to-step approach to defeat disbelief and the negative power it creates. Make your mind produce positive thoughts. Plan a concrete success building program. Do more and do it better by turning your creative power. Capitalize on the power of now. This is really awesome because you're going to be learning a lot, and it's all practical. It's not theories. So you learn and then you can practicalize whatever you learn. So let's quickly go through the preface of this book, more like an introductory chapter to the book, and then we'll round off on this episode of this podcast. Harry, a very ordinary looking fellow who earned in the year that just ended 5 times more than the average. So we have this young man, Harry, very ordinary looking, very average looking, and he earned 5 times more than an ordinary person, an average person would earn rather. Taking a look at Harry, what does Harry have that others don't have? Let's examine Harry. What made him earn 5 times more? Was Harry smarter? Did Harry work harder? That is, was he 5 times smarter because he earned 5 times more? Was he smarter? Was he a better worker? Was he more educated? Did he have better education or better health? The answer is no. No, he didn't. He didn't work 5 times harder. In fact, he took time off his job. In fact, Harry didn't have better education. He just had an average education like everybody else might have had. And did he have better health? No, he didn't. So what was the difference? Harry is just as average as any guy could be. What made Harry different? Let's say. So this is it. Harry thought 5 times bigger. Harry was a big thinker. So Harry was this person that would think beyond what others would think, do beyond what others will do, or would do rather. Success is determined not so much by the size of one's brain as it is the size of one's thinking. All around is an environment that is trying to tug you trying to pull you down second class street. You are told daily that there are too many chiefs and not enough Indians. In other words, that opportunities to lead no longer exist, that there is a surplus of chiefs, so be content being a little guy. So the truth about it is, not everything is really true. So let's really examine this speech I've just read, or this thing I've just stated. Success is determined not by the size of our brains really, but by the size of our thinking. You could have so much and not use it. We all have our brains, and many times, just like psychologists or psychiatrists have already said, they will tell us that we don't use up to a particular percentage of our brain. They tell us that we don't maximize what we have. So the truth about it is, when it comes to making money, when it comes to living a better life, when it comes to becoming a better person or having more results than you usually have, it takes thinking. It's dependent on your thoughts, on your thinking power. Let's put it that way. And when we look around, we look at environment, we see the environment trying to tug us, probably your results, probably where you live, people around you, situations, circumstances, etc., telling you, oh, just give up, you can't be better. That's what the environment tells us. That's what situations tell us. You are told every day that you can't really climb up that ladder. You can't climb up that ladder. It's better you just give up. Now, there's this quote, I'm going to quote it here, just as I stated earlier. You are told daily that there are too many chiefs and not enough Indians. In other words, that opportunities to lead no longer exist. That's what we are told. That there is a surplus of chiefs, so be content being a little guy. Leading people, so this particular statement I just read out, leading people in all occupations will tell you that the trouble is there are too many Indians and not enough chiefs. So chiefs are people on the top, Indians are the regular people. And when you listen to people at the top of their industries, they will tell you that, oh, that's not true. It's not that, the problem is not that we have so many people at the top. We have lesser people at the top than we have at the bottom. So the truth about it is there is enough opportunity. There are more than enough opportunities for you to grab onto, hold on to, make use of. So you don't have to stay in that place where, oh, I'm just content being the little guy. Leading people in all occupations will tell you this. The environment tells you that whatever will be, will be. There's this popular phrase, "Ki sera, sera." That is, what will be. It's not true. The environment tells you that destiny is outside your control, that fate is in complete control. So forget those dreams, forget your dreams, forget the finer homes, forget the special school for your children, forget your better life. Be resigned, lie down, and just wait to die. That is, live a boring life. Live a life that is just ordinary. Don't try to think anything beyond the ordinary. Don't try to think outside the box, as we'll put it. Don't try to be that guy that does the extraordinary. Don't be the extraordinary guy. That's what the environment tells us. As though success is worth the price. That's what it will ask you. Now, let's ask ourselves, is success worth the price? Really? Now, the question is success worth the price? Think about it. Moving on, as if you have to sell your soul, as if you have to sell your family life, your conscience, your set values to reach the top. But the truth is, success doesn't demand a price, as we'll normally put it. Every step forward towards success is paying the dividend. Every step towards success pays a dividend. So the environment also tells us that there's too much competition for the top spot in life, but is there really? Do we really have too much competition? Just like I've stated earlier. So now I'm going to be reading a report. A report states that there are 50 to 250 times more applicants for jobs that pay less per year as for jobs that pay 5 times more a year. This is to say that there is at least 50 times as much competition for jobs on second class street as for jobs on first class avenue. There are countless vacancies waiting there for people like you and me who dare to think big. So There are so many opportunities out there, and they are waiting there for us to grab them, for us to, as in, just get into them by increasing or by upping our thinking. Countless vacancies. Now, right now, just go through some people who have lived their lives and wrote some things about thinking, and we're going to round off. The prophet David said, or rather he wrote, "As one thinks in his heart, so is he." As one thinks in his heart, so is he. Emerson Ralph Waldo, we all know him, most probably. If you don't, you can do research about him. Great men are those who see that thoughts rule the world. Great men are those who see that thoughts rule the world. Milton wrote in his book, Paradise Lost. That's the book, Paradise Lost. The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell and a hell of heaven. Shakespeare, we all know Shakespeare at least, observed and said, "There's nothing either good or bad except that thinking makes it so." That's what Shakespeare noticed. That nothing in itself is bad or good except what the mind makes it. Think big and you live big. You live big in happiness, live big in accomplishments, big in income, big in friends, big in respect. In other words, in the words of the great philosopher Disraeli, he said, "Life is too short to be little. Life is too short to be little." Have a wonderful day. See you in the next episode as we begin our series on the magic of thinking big. Bye.